Okay guys, so just another quick rumination on how some of our creativity can get educated out of us. Now, I remember very clearly writing an essay in primary school. So I was a little kid, maybe 8 years old, and in this story I had a series of adventures, and what happened at the end was that I got killed, and then I continued narrating the story from the other side, as it were. So the teacher was giving feedback on all the essays, and she said that now we're coming to Alan's essay, and Alan's a very nice essay, it's very well written, good little story, but there's a problem here because your narrator, you shouldn't use the term narrator, but in your story you die, but then you keep on telling the story. So can anybody see a problem with this? And a few of the smarter kids put their hand up and went, oh, well, he's dead, so how can he carry on with the story? And what's interesting to me looking back on that is that it hadn't occurred to me as a child that your story couldn't continue after somebody had died. Nobody had told me, you know what, that doesn't work. So bless the teacher for pointing that out, because that's really something that you should know, right? But the interesting thing is, as you get older and you start to look into these things, I've read many books. I'm sure you've come across the stories of sort of out-of-body experiences, near-death experiences, and so on and so forth, from medical experts sort of saying, look, it's perfectly possible and normal for people to continue their narration long after their body has died, or while their body has died, and so on. So really, the interesting thing is that there isn't any good reason why our stories have to be curtailed by common sense or consensus viewpoint. If that were the case, my primary school teacher would have discouraged the writers of What Dreams May Come from making their movie, from Paul and Pressburger from making the beautiful A Matter of Life and Death, and indeed the producers of Ghost, one of the most successful films of all time, would have been given just 1 star instead of the usual 5, and told that their story didn't make any sense. So let's find that sense of joy and magic and possibility in our storytelling, and indeed keep the rational and skeptical and common sense point of view as well, and see if we can balance them and make stories, especially fantasy stories or spiritual stories, that actually aren't reined in by small-minded common sense, as it were. Imagine, like, for example, if somebody had said to the screenwriter of Big, this just doesn't make any sense, okay? That would be such a loss if people had been discouraged from telling that story. So again, that comes back, I think, to knowing our genres and being able to kind of say, look, what's acceptable within this genre and what's not. Very important. All screenwriters, really, as we're setting out to work on our projects, we want to look at what is the recipe book, and I know that sounds cynical and prescriptive, but what are the rules, the codes and conventions for this genre, and how does my script fit into it? Does it or does it not? And should it maybe work perhaps in a different genre? Might it work more effectively? Okay, any examples that you might have yourself from your own experience of how you were told this isn't possible or you should never do this, and then you find excellent movies that manage to overcome exactly those obstacles and break those rules, do let us know. Thanks for listening. God bless. See you soon.